Have you ever wondered if the waiting, the loneliness, the unanswered prayers were all leading to something greater? Right now, as you listen to my voice, God is preparing to send your kingdom spouse. This isn't just an idea. This isn't just a dream. It is a divine promise in motion. And you are not here by accident. You were drawn here because the Spirit wants you to know your season is shifting. If this message is speaking to your spirit, make sure you stay connected here. Subscribe now, and after this word, go to the playlist in the description where I've placed more confirmations and teachings to guide you deeper. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 declares, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven." That means the waiting wasn't wasted. The tears you cried in secret were not ignored. The prayers you whispered when nobody else was listening, they have reached the throne of heaven. And now God is preparing something that is bigger than what you imagined. But here is the question you must ask yourself. How do you know if this is really the season? How do you know if this person God is sending is truly your kingdom spouse and not just another distraction? That's the tension I want you to hold on to, because by the end of this message, you will see the signs, the confirmations, the clear evidence that God is moving in your life. Stay with me until the very end, because missing one detail could mean missing the exact confirmation you've been asking God for. Right here, at this moment, let me invite you deeper. If you are serious about discerning God's timing and hearing His voice about relationships, subscribe to this channel. This is not just content, it's a spiritual journey. In the description, I've placed a playlist that will guide you through prophetic confirmations, relationship breakthroughs, and divine insight, all connected to what you are hearing today. Go there after this message and allow God to continue speaking into your spirit. Now listen closely. Many people assume when the right person comes along, everything will be easy. They believe it will be love at first sight, no struggles, no doubts. But God works differently. Sometimes what feels uncertain at first becomes the clearest sign of His hand. Sometimes the one you never expected to see as your spouse is the very person God has been preparing for you. That is why Proverbs chapter 18 verse 22 says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord." Notice this, favor comes not because you chased after them, but because God orchestrated the meeting. So let me ask you, could it be that God is aligning things in the background right now? Could it be that the season of isolation was simply preparation? Could it be that every no you faced was God's way of clearing the path for His best yes? If you have been sensing that something is about to shift, pay attention, because when God moves, He often moves suddenly. I want you to picture this. The very moment Joseph was in prison, forgotten and abandoned, was the same moment God was preparing the Pharaoh's dream that would promote him. Overnight, his season changed, and that is how quickly God can bring your kingdom spouse into your life. One encounter, one divine alignment, one answered prayer, and everything shifts. You've been waiting, but the waiting has not been wasted. What looks like delay is often divine strategy. God never wastes time. Every season you've walked through, every heartbreak you've endured, every closed door you couldn't understand, it was shaping you for what's about to be released. And right now, God is whispering to your spirit, prepare yourself, because your kingdom spouse is closer than you think. Sometimes what God is preparing doesn't make sense to the natural mind. You might expect Him to send someone who looks exactly like what you've been praying for, someone who matches every detail on your list. But here's the twist. God often answers prayers in ways that surprise us. His choice doesn't just meet your expectations, it exceeds them. That's why Isaiah 55:8 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord." What you thought you needed may not be what God is sending. His plan is higher, deeper, and far more perfect than the one you had in mind. Right now, you may even be questioning if God has heard you at all. You've seen others get married, you've watched friends find partners, and you're left wondering if God has passed you by. But listen, God's silence is not His absence. Think about Abraham. He waited years for the promise of Isaac. The delay was not denial, it was preparation. And when Isaac came, the promise was undeniable, clear, and marked by God's hand. The same will be true for your kingdom spouse. Here is one of the clearest confirmations: peace. The enemy brings confusion, God brings clarity. When the right person enters your life, there may be challenges, but deep inside, there will be peace that cannot be shaken. Colossians chapter 3, verse 15 says, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts." That peace is not just a feeling, it's God's confirmation. If you feel anxious, restless, or pressured, step back. But when the Spirit fills you with assurance, even when circumstances don't look perfect, that's a sign you're standing on holy ground. Now pause and ask yourself this: are you really ready for the one God is preparing? Because many pray for a kingdom spouse, but are not ready to walk in the maturity that such a relationship requires. Kingdom marriage is not built on feelings alone. It is built on purpose, sacrifice, and covenant. It is less about what you want and more about what God wants to do through you and your spouse together. As you hear this, something inside of you may already be stirring. That's the Spirit aligning your heart with God's plan. Don't ignore it, receive it, and let it draw you into deeper preparation, because your waiting season is not just about longing, it is about becoming the person who can carry the blessing God is sending. And I want you to stay with me, because in the next part, I'm going to reveal the hidden signs, subtle but powerful, that God uses to show you when His timing has fully arrived. These are signs most people miss, but they are the very confirmations that will make you certain your season has come. Before we continue, let me remind you, this is not just another video, it's part of a journey. In the description, I've placed a playlist that will walk you step by step through other prophetic words and confirmations about your spouse. Go there after this message and allow God to continue speaking to you. Now lean in, because what you're about to hear could be the very key you've been praying for. You've been waiting, watching, asking God, when will it be my turn? The truth is, heaven has heard every prayer, and the answer is already in motion. What feels like a delay is not God forgetting you, it is God preparing you, preparing your heart, your spirit, and even your steps for the one He has already chosen. This is where so many people get lost. They confuse attraction with confirmation. They mistake temporary connections for eternal covenant. But hear this clearly, your kingdom spouse is not just about romance, it's about destiny. It's about the person who will walk beside you in faith, stand with you in battles, and help you fulfill the calling of God on your life. That is why you cannot settle for less. That is why every counterfeit has been removed. God was not punishing you, He was protecting you. Think about Ruth. She wasn't searching for Boaz. She was simply faithful in her season. She stayed loyal, humble, obedient, and in her faithfulness, God aligned her steps with the man He had prepared. That's the same God working for you now. Psalm 37 verse 23 says, "The steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord."
If you've been walking in obedience, even when it hurt, then trust this: your steps are being ordered toward the one God has prepared for you. And here is the confirmation that shakes the enemy. When the person comes, the relationship will not draw you away from God. It will pull you closer. It will ignite your prayer life. It will strengthen your walk. It will bring out the best in you because it was birthed in the presence of God. That is how you will know. Not confusion, not chaos, but